Hello and welcome to another Outside Inside Star Citizen, the show where we talk about what happened in the previous Inside Star Citizen, and we dissect it and we make fun of them if we can, or I praise them, but I rarely do that. It's not because of me, it's because of them. But let me roll the intro and let's see what they have for this week.
Hello, my name is Grumpy.
At the team, we will always wanted to make the Derelict more enjoyable and fun for the player. The new addition of the Planetary Nav Mesh make designer able to put life on the location.
Before it was just kind of a ship just there on the ground, but what we wanted to do is to create a link between the ship and the environment around.
We decided to make them more like a settlement, to have more story around them.
It's like walking in the woods and just sometimes you just found their old cars all rusty there with the leaves and the trees all around. That's the kind of feeling we wanted to do with the Derelict.
I know I made this joke already, but I gotta do it again. Isn't it funny that we have the Reclaimer for I don't know how many years now, and the best thing that happened to that ship, because it's completely useless, and the best use that they gave to the Reclaimer is it being a derelict. I don't know, I just find it funny. Hopefully there's not gonna be any elevators inside that should be working, because you know that they're not gonna work, and the whole back portion is gonna be completely inaccessible, because it never works in the Reclaimer for the past fucking year now. So anyway,
when you will arrive at the crash, you will see a big trail on the ground. So if you look behind the ship, you will see all the big tree, but in the trail, all the trees will be small, and we're going to have just small rocks and grass, and it's the purpose the ship was there. When you go back in the ship, because you will be able to go back in the ship, you will rediscover the ship as you were before, but in the older version. That tell a lot of story about the old technology, kind of giving a second life to the ship.
I mean, let's be honest, there was no first life to begin with. What second life? But okay, I'm gonna give it to him. This is nice, looks nice, and add some variety, and we desperately need some variety for the past. I don't know how for the past since I started playing, and I started playing at the end of 2020, and there was no notable changes, no variety to any of it, and now we're gonna get some. So thank you, CAG, and thank you for listening. But still, the Reclaimer, it never had a first life to begin with. But okay, whatever.
We got an update on the Planetary Nav Mesh now on the planet, so we are allowed to put AI on the ground.
Putting NPC in this location that are park air, trying to take the best of the location, scavenging for resources.
So when you will arrive there, you will feel then some people living there since a long time. That's going to give you a feeling that all that place around is just kind of habitated by some people. The mission we're going to do on those ships, if it's a hostile mission, we're going to have some kind of faction there. It's living there, we'll just take control of the ship. And it's not a hostile mission, there's going to be a different kind of faction.
If you want us to get a feeling that some people are living there, there should be some civilians there. And I know that this is nitpicking and all of that. It's not it's good. I'm not saying anything bad about this, but there should be some civilians, a small settlement, and then it's surrounded by people with guns. And I can see the Planetary Nav Mesh, and we're gonna talk about the roadmap soon, right after this whole portion of the video. And yeah, there's some things that they added, and it sounds great, although I have heard that in Evocati everything is completely broken, but hopefully it's gonna be resolved before the release, right, CAG?
We see all the feedback we receive on January when we start showing the concept of the Derelict settlement. with the EI team for the Planetary Nav Mesh and all the team in Turbulent, we was able to create a habitation module. We have tools now to be able to generate and procedurally place all this work on the planet. It's just the beginning of the long-term plan that we have in mind to populate and add more and more location in the PU.
And this is actually a good thing. Variety is always good. We could use some more bunkers and different bunkers, some variety with those bunkers, and not having the spawn closets at all. But this is it sounds promising, right? And it sounds like they actually listened to the community. And even though it is a year late, or maybe even more, but it seems like we are on a brink of something. It seems like we are actually gonna enjoy playing this game, because we will have variety and we will have different places to visit, and we will have some gameplay on planets and moons, because currently the only gameplay we have is landing with a rock and mining those or mining the hand mineable rocks, and that's it. Yeah, we have the same bunkers around the fucking verse. We have a few caves, and those caves nobody wants to fucking go there because they're just annoying and really badly done. I might say badly done and really poorly lit, but yeah, it's a cave, it needs to be dark and all of that, but at least give it some lighting. I don't know. Anyway, I digress. Let's watch the second portion of the video, because this is basically it. We're gonna have a few derelicts. Last time it was what was it, 9 caterpillars, or no, it was 4 caterpillars across 9 moons. It was something like that. So I don't think that this is gonna be that much of a game changer, and that there's gonna be that many derelicts, that many different derelicts. So yeah, but it is a nice addition to the game. So yeah, thank you CIG for listening to the community and giving us some variety.
The crashed reclaimer derelict settlements are just one of the new mission-enabled, gameplay-focused environments from Turbulent arriving in the upcoming Alpha 3.17.2. And we encourage you to explore the Stanton system and find additional ones on your own. Hint, some of them are still floating out in space. And when you're done exploring, the fine citizens of Orison will need your help when the newest dynamic event pits the dreaded Ninetails against Crusader's security forces. Now, while we'd prefer you discover most of the details for yourself on the PTU and live servers, we do have a brief introduction to perhaps the biggest and most elaborate mission in Star Citizen yet.
Alright, so this is a mission that was running in the PTU a few months back, and I have a video on that, and it's gonna be somewhere around here if I don't fucking forget, because it's 5 AM of course. I'm guys, I'm really trying to get my sleep, but it's just not working, guys. Whatever I do, I just sleep randomly, and it's so fucking annoying, and I'm so tired. But there's gonna be a link there, and you can watch the video that I had on it, and it's a nice addition. It's cool to have some variety, although it is not really nicely done, and it has a bunch of flaws. It has potential to be fucking amazing, and I know that some streamers and some YouTubers already did a video on this mission, and it looks fucking fantastic, but most of us are not gonna have the same experience, because most of us don't have huge orgs that are gonna 50 fucking players that are gonna play with them and try to finish the mission, because most of us are not streamers and YouTubers, and when I say most of us, I mean you guys. So here's what I will do. I'm gonna respond to some of their quotes, but I'm also gonna respond with the original video that I did, with some segments of that original video, and you will understand why I think that this mission is not really ready yet, unless they change something. Hopefully they did. But from what I saw, watching the video, I didn't see that they actually changed anything. So I don't know. I'm hoping that this is going to be better than like the experience that I had and then the experience that most of us had on the PTU. But we never know.
Siege of Orison is an event where we take away all of your most overpowered toys, which are your ships. You actually have to use your reactions and your guns and your teammates to hopefully survive this perilous encounter.
Perilous encounter? Okay, let's see what happens when I played it on the PTU. And bear in mind that the PTU had like 15 people on it, so it's not a server issue.
News. Access codes for the locked cargo containers on this platform were successfully recovered from the Lieutenant's body. I've gone ahead and passed it along to all CDF volunteers. Picked up additional nine tails heading to our location, y'all. We gotta get control of the restricted airspace or they're gonna keep sending in.
I don't know, man. It's not that like fear invoking, so they're just overhyping it again, and then you get this fucking AI. So what do I know?
We wanted to do what for FPS combat we did for ship combat with Xenothreat. Push it to its extremes. So without spoiling the event, the Siege of Orison is a dynamic event which takes place around Orison on some floating platforms owned by Crusader, and you know, we shuttle players in to help out Crusader take back their islands.
I gotta say this. When you say dynamic event, what does that mean? Because from what I know, and I'm not a native English speaker, of course, but from what I know, dynamic events spawn occasionally from time to time, and you never know when they're going to happen. And these ones, like the Invictus and this one and the Jumptown and all of those, we knew exactly the time when they would start, so how are they dynamic? I don't understand them. There are a few phases to this event because they're like, I think the last phase, you need to have a ship because one of the platforms that you need to attack has like a guy that you gotta kill or something like that, or you gotta hack something, I forgot. But yeah, like you need a ship to land there, first off. Secondly, there's a bunch of like AI turrets and AI controlled missiles and all of that. So yeah, it could be fun, although the frame rate is really bad even on my PC, and I have a Ryzen 9 and 3090, so yeah, it could be fun. That's it.
When we was making the mission, we wanted to, first of all, we wanted to make a fun mission that pulled people in together to play together, you know, experience something they might not have normally.
In most missions you go up against 10 AI and you really don't get challenged.
Do I really need to like re-roll the video from before when I was really challenged? I mean, I am like challenged, but I wasn't challenged by the AI or the amount of NPCs that I had to kill, because yeah, they just weren't working.
A lot of our missions do a lot of hand-holding where we mark everything for the player, and you know, they can sort of disengage to a level and just like walk to a marker and, you know, presume the rest of it. This one I wanted to kind of go, right, here's no markers, now think and try figure it out for yourself.
The event is primarily a PVE mission. There are systems in place to discourage PvP.
It's not something we protect against because we want the players to protect themselves from it. We're not discouraging it, but we're not actively supporting it yet.
All right, so here's the main issue with this event. It is not a PvP event, but you can shoot other people there. And if you're a bad guy, for a good guy, there is no way that he can know that you are an actual bad guy, unless he has a marker for you because he accepted the bounty. And why would he? Because he's doing this mission and there's markers with this mission, so like there's no reason for him to track a bounty, right? And on top of all of that, on most of the servers that I tried this on, the call to arms mission didn't work. So even if you try to defend yourself, you're not gonna send that guy to jail. Maybe they fixed the call to arms and maybe it's gonna work in 3.17.2. But for a couple of patches now, most of the servers had some issues with that. Sometimes even like the call to arms, and I heard that from my org mates, the call to arms mission gave you a crime stats and then like sent you to jail for some fucking reason. But I don't know. The main issue is, and I'm gonna show you a clip, and this is gonna be from my original video from a month or whatever ago. Like the main issue with this is that whoever wants to can kill you, and they will kill you for your loot. They're not just gonna down you, no, they're gonna kill you. The PVE or the NPCs, they are gonna like down you and that's it, and then you're gonna have org mates that's gonna come there, pick you up or whatever. But the players, they are gonna kill you, and that's it. Like that's the end of it. And once you die, you gotta come back to Orison, and you know how fucking how bad it is just landing and going to Orison, and then you gotta take 2 elevators, and then you gotta take a shuttle, and then you gotta take an elevator, and then you gotta take another shuttle, and then you gotta take a few elevators and maybe one more shuttle, depending on like where the event is running at that point, or like which phase it is in at that point. And then you'll be back at like square one where you died to a guy that you can't really see, like you can't really know who the guy is. And on top of that, most of the bad guys are gonna carry snipers, and they're just gonna like that. You're done. Like you're never gonna see them, and they're gonna loot you, and you're gonna re-equip all of your shit, come back, and they're gonna kill you again because you will not see them unless you accept their bounty mission. But maybe it's not gonna appear. Maybe the call to arms is not gonna work, and like there is no around that thing. Like they didn't, from what I can see here, they didn't really fix it. But let me show you what happened to me on the PTU, and bear in mind that this is the PTU where you shouldn't really grief. Friendly. Okay, fine. Fucking amazing. Oh, it's Herbazine. Oh, of course it's him. Of course it's him. Yeah, it's always gonna be him. You know.
There's a lot of new spaces we've made for Orison, and working with design on the block out, and still making sure it's all in keeping with what Orison is. We looked at expanding the visual library of Orison. What we really liked was the contrast of this kind of idyllic, relaxing garden, platforms floating around, and this kind of battle-scarred, damage and things like that adding to them. So it was a lovely kind of contrast to put in.
And I already said that in my original video that like this level design is really good, and I tip my hat because this is like, it is designed really nicely, although the NPCs don't work, and then there's the glaring issue of the players that are just gonna grief and kill you for no fucking reason. And as I've said, and as you've seen, there is no way around it.
We don't normally have content of this scale.
The main challenge, or the main challenges, were performance. By moving it far enough away from like the center, the city of Orison, we managed to avoid most of that.
Having this here helped to improve and push performance because we found issues and we was able to quickly fix them.
And this is really not true, even though a portion of it is, because yeah, like they did dislocate the whole event away from Orison, but still me with my fucking Ryzen 9 5900X and a fucking 3090, I had like up to 30 frames per second, and that is not good. Like that's just not a FPS game, dudes. Like sorry, but not sorry. Like, maybe they're gonna optimize it better for the actual PU, but you never know. I guess we'll see in the PTU, and yeah, I'm gonna do reports on the PTU, of course.
The experience I hope players get is enjoyment. Mostly, I want players to feel fun and create like emergent stories with their friends that they can, tell on Reddit or through videos and whatever. Just have fun, really.
I want them to see all the effort that has gone into like healing and gunplay and AI over the years that you may not notice fighting against a small amount of people.
Events in general are great because they pull people who might not play with each other together. You all feel like this comradeship trying to push forward against this enemy that you all have in common.
It's an experience unlike any other in this game.
And that is true. It could be bad, it could be good, but in the end, it is something that we haven't experienced in Star Citizen yet. And that's a good thing. In the end, that's a good thing. Because, as I've said a bunch of times now, for a year now, almost a year, it's gonna be a year really, really soon that I'm doing YouTube. And one of the things that I was saying for a year, basically, is that we as players, we need more variety. We need different types of missions. We need game loops. We need the Star Citizen universe to expand. And also we need like a purpose to the planets. Like the planets for at least a year now. And that's how long I'm playing, or more than a year. It's almost like fucking 2 years now. But like planets are just empty shells, and that's it. But now they're gonna have some life to it. And on that topic, we should take a look at the roadmap, because there is something really, really nice here. Let me just move my thing here so you can actually see everything. I think that this should be good. Yes, I have 4 monitors. Okay, so release view, the following cards have been added to release view as well as marked as committed. So these things, and I don't really like the angle of this shit. What is this? Like this. Okay, there we go. So these things have been added, and we're gonna have them in 3.17.2. Colonialism outposts. We already saw that. That's the reclaimer. It's fine, and I really dig that. It adds immersion, and it's fine. It's like variety. And now this AI dropships and reinforcements, and we saw that in the a couple of weeks ago in one of the ISCs, and they were working on it, and apparently it's gonna be added. It's like we're gonna have it in 3.17.2. So this is gonna be really, really good, because you will never know. First off, it's gonna add some like immersion and some traffic on planets at some point down the line, but like you will never know what's gonna come at you, and you're just gonna see a ship filled with NPCs, and it's probably gonna be broken as fuck. Let's face it, it's Star Citizen, but like still, it's gonna be like down the line, it's gonna be fun and immersive. And in the end, they have taken off the RSI Orion, all of the Misc hulls, and the Crusader Genesis Starliner from the roadmap, and it's not a really big deal because it was only like worked on by the vehicle concept art team. So who cares? Those are just like JPEGs, and they just stopped working on them because they're probably gonna do some new sales for like IAE or whatever, and they need to think of new concepts and new capital ships that we're gonna get in 21 years or something like that. So Anyway, that is it for today, guys. Thank you for watching, and thank you to my patrons for supporting the channel. If you want to support the channel, there's gonna be a link down in the description of the video. And thank you to all my new supporters that supported because of the one of the latest videos that I released on my revenue and what I used that money for, because I'm using that for you guys, for the channel. And a special shout out to Shane Newman that for some reason, I don't know why, he was a patron for a while now and he wasn't in the patron list, and I fucked up. I'm really sorry, and I hope that you're not mad, and thank you for supporting the channel. And that's it. So yeah, thank you for watching, and don't forget to bring a towel when you're traveling through space, and mwah, bye. And sorry again, because yeah, I fucked up. I obviously fucking fucked up because I'm an idiot. I'm actually challenged.